back to my channel today. Today I'm going to discuss what have been my top winter reads this season. We're about halfway through winter and I've started some books, I haven't started others, some are still on my list to start, but I thought I would just come on here, make a video and talk about the books that I've really been enjoying and want to read. Because I feel like sometimes you feel like you want to reach for a book, but you don't know exactly which book to reach for, or you don't want to start one, get halfway through, not like it, and not feel like it was worth that time that you put into it. So I just want today to be a quick overview of the books that I have been enjoying and I can't wait to read. So first, let's start off with the books that I have started and / finished. This first book is by Brittany Pettibone and now Brittany Sellner. I just think she's so awesome, and it's called What Makes Us Girls. I feel like this is a great book for any woman that, even if you're just growing up or if you're middle-aged, really any age. I really like this book because I feel like it provides an honest analysis of being a woman and the experiences and things that you have to decide, and it doesn't come from a perspective of, social justice, victimhood. It just comes from a good, healthy perspective and things that I feel like all women should know and kind of be comfortable discussing with and knowing in a conversation, because our experiences are different sometimes just based in societal ways, or some things we have to handle that maybe men don't, like childbearing and kind of creating that family and having that at the forefront of your mind kind of as you're going through your 20s, because I feel like as women we have to think about that a lot quicker than some men do, just because the biological clock, all that. And I just think it's a great book. I love that she says, Lauren Southern has a quote on the back, and the last sentence is, "If I ever have a daughter, this book will be on her nightstand." And I feel like that's just a perfect encapsulation of the book. I read this in about 3 days, just lightly reading about 3 hours per day, and really enjoyed it. The next book is also from a strong woman that I enjoy, and that is Candace Owens. This is her new book called Blackout. I'm about halfway through. I've been really enjoying it so far. The top thing that I like about this book that I wasn't expecting is just all the history in it. There's a lot of things about the Black community and just about history in general that I didn't learn in history class, if you can believe it or not. And I just love knowing this perspective, and I can't wait to finish it. Definitely think it's a light read as well. It definitely, gives across Candace's personality, which I love because I feel like she's so fierce in so many different ways, and definitely a good book for winter, especially because it's timely too. A lot of things that she's citing, you can witness going around in the world right now, as opposed to these are kind of timeless qualities. This book is definitely, pertinent. It's timeless, but it's also pertinent to, the current events happening right now, and it kind of gives you a good perspective on that and how to understand it. The last two books I have not started yet, and the first one is good old JP's Maps of Meaning. I feel like this book will take me a very long time considering it's a textbook, but I just feel like I had to at one point take the deep dive in, start analyzing what he's saying. And if anybody doesn't know, so Jordan Peterson has his first book, well, I should say his most popular book, which is 12 Rules for Life, but he actually wrote Maps of Meaning, I think, in the late 90s. And it's just kind of like a thesis overall. It says the architecture of belief, and it's kind of just all of his thoughts and almost his lectures combined into a book. And this book was actually used as a textbook, I think, for the classes he taught at different universities, if I'm not mistaken. But it's definitely a heavy read, as you can see, lots of words on each page, and it is very hard reading. But I am excited to jump in, and there's no better time than, in the middle of the winter. It's so cold. There's not much else to do besides just staying inside, being cozy, and grabbing a good book and diving into it. So I definitely think this will be a good one to start. Obviously, personally, I don't expect to finish this book just in winter. This is going to be like a 2-year book for me that I keep on just going back to, highlighting different areas that I really like, and just using it as a long-term study. So definitely excited. And then the last book I'm probably most excited to read just because the person, and it is Matthew McConaughey, his Green Light book. I've definitely watched a lot of the interviews he's done so far, like on Joe Rogan. He did one with Jordan Peterson. I'm trying to think of the other people he did stuff with. But I definitely am excited for this. I feel like Matthew McConaughey has a really good perspective on life, and he is a central person that I feel like when he says something, I respect him, give him credit. And I feel like he has a really good grasp just on life religion, how things work in the world, how to better yourself, just all those good things that you look for when you're looking kind of for just an inspirational read and also something that will tell an amazing story. I've listened to his podcast about this, and it seems like he went on kind of this voyage to reanalyze the journals that he wrote when he was younger and kind of create a story and find larger themes kind of throughout his own life, and then this book is kind of wrapping that all together. So I am very excited, like I said, about the other books to read this one. This one I think I'll start pretty soon. As soon as I finish Blackout by Candace Owens, I'll definitely start this one, and I expect to have this one done. It seems like it'll be a nice, easy read, medium words per page, and I think it's like 280 pages, so not terrible, but super excited about this. And yeah, I feel like when you finish a book, you feel accomplished in the fact that you just gained all this knowledge through a form of communication that we don't do that often anymore. I mean, I'm on my phone so many hours out of the day, probably just like you, and it's like we always are getting this information through technology. Rather, it's so nice once you can gather information kind of from a good old-fashioned book, and I feel like the experience is just more holistic, and you feel like you're going on a journey more instead of just quick getting snippets of information and it's just like boom, boom, boom. This is more like a long form process, and you really get to dive in and appreciate the material. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video, just me outlining the books I'm reading this winter. If you guys have any books that you're currently enjoying or they're currently on your list, make sure to comment them down below. I'm always looking to lengthen my reading list, and I always just want to keep it flowing, so once I finish one book, I can jump right into the next one. So hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for watching.